The Firefly Funhouse has returned on SmackDown. There was a shocking heel turn on AEW Rampage, and we've got possible Royal Rumble plans have been revealed. Stay tuned for the news. We are really glad that you're our friends because the Firefly Funhouse is back, Sam. It's back.
It is. I wasn't expecting it, you know.
No,
I wasn't expecting it. I thought that we'd maybe not see Funhouse again.
Yeah, I thought that was it. We saw that when Bray returned for the first time, well, a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
The Funhouse was covered in dust and it was
all dilapidated.
It was dilapidated. Yeah. It's a good word to describe it. But yeah, last night SmackDown saw the return of the much-loved Firefly Funhouse. The crowd erupted when they actually saw it. But LA Knight had sort of beaten an enhancement talent quite quickly. You know, he got on the mic, he was doing his let me talk to you, all the LA Knight good stuff that you love. But he was interrupted by Bray Wyatt, and more specifically, the little jingle, "We're really glad that you're."
But it was all
friends."
kind of
it was
Bray Wyatt.
That's exactly the word, Bray Wyatt. But Bray sort of, you see all the little puppets waking up, and you see them all. They're very dusty, as you said, dilapidated, and they do some little fun. There's a few little fun lines. You know, they're all like, "Oh, what's happened?" You know, we're back.
They're just kind of addressing the gap.
Yeah, because they've been away for 2 years?
Yeah.
Is it 2 years now? Oh my God, it is 2 years since we saw the Funhouse.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it.
Oh my God. Well, it cuts to Bray Wyatt and he sort of is there and he's fixing the door and he's got a bit of builder's bum, but it's cut out with the Bray Wyatt logo.
Yeah, he's got the little inverted moth just kind of covering his ass crack.
Yeah. Which is a nice way to disguise it. But he says how much he has missed everyone and he can't wait to have fun with all his friends again. Rambling Rabbit then calls LA Knight the Miz, but with muscles.
And he says that he likes him and he thinks he should be invited into the Funhouse as well.
Fun with him?
And Bray's just sort of like, well, it's okay to feel like that. But you're wrong. Yeah. And, you know, it's okay to be afraid of the dark because he's afraid of the dark. And he just starts kind of threatening Rambling Rabbit.
Pretty much, yeah. And then he sort of turns to the camera and he does a whole, you should be scared of the dark, and then winks. And then it gets spooky because it cuts to all the Uncle Howdy stuff.
It cuts to a fatback TV is what it cuts to. I want that telly, Bray. That telly, that unit. I'll give you 50 quid for it if you can deliver it.
That's a bargain, that.
Old Sega games on it.
Ooh, just any old games will still look good.
CRT,
CRTs are great. But the Funhouse interrupted by Uncle Howdy on this big TV saying, "I told you all you needed is a little push." It then cuts back to Bray saying, "I hope you're satisfied. You're the one who opened the door. Whatever comes through is your problem. Bye!" And he does the whole...
he tells him he'll see him at Rumble as well, and then that's it.
They've got a pitch black match coming up at the Royal Rumble.
Sorry, a Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew presents the pitch black match at Royal Rumble. Do the do, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for this match now this segment has happened.
Look, it's weird because obviously Bray returned with such atmospheric, strange things that it was always going to be a slow burner, but people have sort of started souring on it because there's not really been any further development. It feels like we're kind of going round in circles a little bit with it, but at the same time, it just feels like Bray's one of those guys where if you just give it the time, hopefully what comes out of the back end of it is going to be amazing. So I'm curious about the completely pitch black match.
Yeah, it seems to be.
I kind of hope that it is just a pitch black screen and we just hear
just a pitch black. I think we've discussed it previously where the reports were that it's going to be, or LA Knight seems to think that it's going to be a street fight but in the dark. But I think this
swinging around a kendo stick in a big square,
just hitting the crowd accidentally. But this has piqued my interest. Yeah. It's not been just the same segment each week. This is actually a bit more fresh. But we're going to stay with WWE because this coming Raw is the 30th anniversary of Monday Night Raw. In a graphic showing during SmackDown, more WWE legends are now set to appear on it. Per the graphic, you've got Diamond Dallas Page, Ted DiBiase, Erwin R. Shyster, Alundra Blaze, The Godfather, and Jimmy Hart. Not only that, but Hulk Hogan was announced to be involved in the show. This was revealed earlier on Friday. Triple H is now advertised for the show. That's not really that much of a surprise. And Rikishi and Samu are scheduled to be part of the Bloodline segment.
I feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Raw's 10th anniversary.
Okay.
I remember Raw's 20th anniversary. And yeah, I mean, it's always a star-studded, star-filled and fun affair, usually.
Yeah.
They tend to go big when it's Raw because, Raw is the flagship show.
The longest-running episodic television show in history.
There you go. And it's 30. So, it's going to be a case of bringing out all the big guns. I think it's going to be a very segment-laden night. We're going to keep cutting, backstage, and we'll probably have, people interacting
probably have
with current
APA
stars.
playing some
APA will just be sat playing blackjack with about 15 other veterans.
That's how you get them all in one. Yeah, they're like, these are all advertised this for the show, and they're going to be backstage playing some poker. But it should be a good show. I'm most excited for this Bloodline segment. It seems like it could set up who Reigns is going to face at WrestleMania.
And especially with more family being involved in it, it's starting to broaden the horizons a bit. That one person in the family we want to see Roman go up against.
Manu, that's who we all want. On last night's SmackDown, there was a few lovely tributes for the late Jay Briscoe. The Viking Raiders all wore armbands with "Dem Boys" written on it. Kevin Owens was spotted with a band reading Jay. It was all on his arm, like many of the AEW stars this week also wore. And Michael Cole acknowledged the passing of Briscoe in commentary and paid tribute to him. Very, very sad news this past week if you've missed it. But it's nice to see some tributes on WWE programming for them. Jay Briscoe, of course, was one of the top Ring of Honor stars of the past 20 years, since the inception of the company, really. So it was a nice wee tribute for him on SmackDown. But Sam, what quite happened on AEW Rampage? Because there's someone's turned heel that is a much beloved member of the roster, and it's perhaps for me the most shocking heel turn in AEW history.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So last night we had Ortiz come to the ring and speak with Tony Schiavone to discuss the ongoing events with Eddie Kingston, the bit of friction that's been going on there, the uncertainty that's been going on there. But Ortiz admits that he should be speaking to Eddie directly after he's been questioning his actions recently. Eddie then comes down to the ring, but he's holding a chair, and Ortiz is sort of understandably a little bit on guard. Yeah, he's a bit on edge. But they kind of go back and forth. Eddie's telling him, you could have just spoke to me backstage. And it's a case of like, no, I can't. I have to bring you out here. So he starts questioning him and really like pointed jabs of like, why were you thinking about hitting Julia Hart when your family didn't raise you that way? I don't know this person. You're not the type of person that would do this. And what would our mentors think? What would Homicide think of you? And then it starts getting a bit like, ooh,
it's getting a bit tense.
And Eddie's starting to kind of get a little bit tetchy. And then it gets to a point where he just says, Homicide would think that you're a coward and you're like a fake tough guy. And then Eddie just swings the chair straight in, hits him in the gut, and then lays him in, with a chair shot on the back. And then essentially, crowd just erupts in a chorus of boos. Eddie is just walking out freshly heel. Which
is so strange because Eddie is potentially the most loved member of the roster.
Yeah.
No matter what he's done, he's always getting cheers.
He's able to play both sides so well. Yeah, I get excited every time we've got an Eddie Kingston turn because it's like, what are we going to see this time? Where's he going to take it this time? What was like, and this could potentially be huge for Ortiz as well. I like this.
I feel like it's going to be a short-lived heel run in this sense because they're feuding with the House of Black a little bit with the Julia Hart stuff. And I think it'll be a case of him being heel for a few weeks and then Ortiz has got to snap him out of it, get the real
It doesn't need to be like a mega thing. It can be a case of, finding him and reminding him of who he is. Yeah. But I just kind of like that this could be a nice little elevation platform here for Ortiz, who is somebody who really does deserve that spotlight, really to shine on him.
And it's nice to have Eddie Kingston doing something a bit more fresh, getting him to test out little bits of like potentially a heel run down the road. I still think he is the perfect one to beat MJF, him or Adam Cole.
Yeah, I mean the heart that Eddie Kingston has on his day is just MJF would not be able to compete.
No, definitely not. We're going to finish things today or this video on some Royal Rumble planned because Royal Rumble's next weekend. I'm very excited about it. It's potentially the most exciting show of the year. It's the one that I genuinely get the most hyped for, because you
Honestly.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But Fightful Select might know what's going to happen, because they've given us a little report on internal meetings about the Royal Rumble next weekend. They've reported that while some legends and veterans of WWE have contacted them about appearing at the Rumble, WWE is said to be leaning away from that style of return in favour of what is being called a non-traditional surprise. Along with this, they've reported that Ronda Rousey isn't planned to be involved in the Royal Rumble Premium Live event currently, while WWE is reportedly very confident that their women's roster for the match due to all the multiple returns and call-ups that have happened recently. So they're very confident in the women's Rumble. There likely won't be too many surprises there.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting, the wording of non-traditional surprises.
That immediately screams sports star to me.
Really?
Entertainer, maybe TV stars. It could be further YouTubers. It could be, this could be Jake Paul. It could be anything. But non-traditional, it could also be, people from external companies, which is...
See, my two thoughts on it are either people from external companies doing some forbidden door stuff like that, or people who are going to return and immediately be put in storylines and actually join the company for a wee bit, rather than, oh, here's Carlito back for one night. Kind of...
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, kind of more MVP style, where he came back and it was like, oh, he's actually back with the company now. Now, I posted it on Twitter, and it's what I want to happen.
Okay.
Not what I think is going to happen. Not what I think is going to happen. It's what I want to happen. Rock's in the ring, right? He's laying the smackdown on everyone. Number 27, the countdown's going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The glass shatters, and it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. That would be a non-traditional surprise.
Yeah, that would be a non-traditional surprise, but... I mean, I want to see it, but now I'm just going to be disappointed if it doesn't happen.
I
was kind of hoping that WWE have just decided that they, like Triple H just really likes DDT, and it's like, oh, number 12's coming out. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, it's steel chair. And it's just a steel chair on some fishing wire, like walking down. There's some guy on the catwalk, and then the steel chair's in the ring, just diving all over the shop.
Hitting people.
Yeah. Steel chair wins the Rumble. What do you do then? Everybody's going to have to tune into Mania.
I would, there you have
Can a
it.
steel chair wrestle without making unprotected, chair shots?
Probably not. We need to see this, right? Triple H, book it, a steel chair in the Rumble. But that is all the news we have for you for video one. We will be back later on today with some more news. Stay tuned to our social medias tonight, because at 5 o'clock we are announcing something pretty darn cool. So we can't say much more on it just now. But
No,
stay tuned.
it's not something we do a lot either. So it's an exciting one.
5 o'clock. We'll see you then.